guys, it's Ruby. We are back in Las Vegas and we are going to be sharing with you secrets to winning at slots. I'm going to be sharing with you how they work, common myths, and some strategies to help you win money, including my #1 tip to increase your odds. Sounds pretty good, right? Let's get started. The first thing you need to know about slot machines is that they are random number generated, or RNG. What this means is that every single millisecond that this machine is sitting here without being played, it's constantly thinking and it's constantly changing. It does not stop thinking until you hit that play button. Think of a slot machine as a giant calculator, and it's balancing out its scales of how much money goes into the machine versus how much money is coming out of the machine. It has a set percentage level of what it needs to pay the players based on how much money is going into the machine. Typical casinos in Las Vegas are going to have a payback percentage of anywhere between 90 to 96%. That means out of 100% that you put in, between 90 and 96 of that is supposed to come back to the players. Basically just know that while you're playing, the machine is trying to decide when the last time it paid out and if it needs to start paying back money or not. Unfortunately, you don't know when that's gonna be because it's random. So now that you have the basics on how the machines work, let's talk about some common myths that a lot of players believe that simply are not true. The first one, which we are definitely guilty of, is ladder betting. A lot of people believe that if you just change your bet levels while you're gambling, it's gonna increase your chances of winning. That is a myth, it's not true. The slot machine does not care which bet level you're betting on. That does not change your odds. Changing your bet level to a lower bet is actually hurting your chances, because if you hit a bonus, now you're on a lower bet level. So always bet at the highest bet level that you can on the denomination you're comfortable with. Let's talk about a common myth that people get really frustrated with. You played out your money, you lost, you walk away from the machine, someone else sits down, bam, they hit a bonus. And you're thinking, that was supposed to be my win. Nope, doesn't work that way. As soon as you got up and walked away, the random number generator started thinking, and someone else sits down. That was their win. That win was not just sitting there waiting for you. That is not how slot machines work. So don't feel like you got up too early. It just doesn't work that way. Common misconception: you cannot stop the reels. The second you hit the button the first time, your fate was decided. Hitting it again is just stopping the screen, but you're not changing your odds of the win. The machine already thought out what you were going to be winning, so hitting the button super fast is just killing your bankroll. Remember, timing is everything on these slot machines, so don't be the button slapper person. You guys, please use your player's cards. One of the common myths I see perpetuated all the time is that using your player's card is gonna make you lose money. That's illegal, and casinos cannot do that. Gambling is more regulated than alcohol and tobacco put together, so I promise you they're not scamming you out of your money. Honestly, by not using your player's card, you're just losing out on comps. The casino's rewarding you for showing how much you're playing. You might be wondering why they're doing that if they're not tracking you or trying to make you lose, and it has everything to do with data. The most valuable commodity to businesses is data. They live off it. They want to know where you're playing, where you're eating, where you're staying. So by using your player's card, they are rewarding you with comps. I may have lost a lot of money on slots, but I have earned thousands of dollars in comps from casinos for playing. So don't leave that money on the table. Use your player's cards. We always do. Unless, of course, Mr. Ruby forgets to bring it. So I made a comment that I never win on free play, and a lot of you guys commented, it counts the same as regular money, you can totally win. Nope, that's a myth. It does not count like real money. Remember I told you that the slot machine is doing an accounting record of money in, money out? Well, when you use free play, it's not counting that towards its record. So technically you're kind of in a limbo. You can still win, it's random number generated, but the odds are against you. So now that we know all these myths, it may seem like there's really nothing you can do to increase your odds and it's all luck. But there is one guaranteed way to improve your odds on a slot machine, and that is playing at a higher denomination. By raising from a penny slot, which has the worst odds, up to a 5 or a 10 cent, you're going to increase your odds of winning. And even better, you can still bet the same amount of money, but at a higher denomination. If you're playing a penny slot at $2.50, Go up to the 5 cent and play at 50 cents. 50 cents times 5, 250. I guarantee your odds of winning will improve.
Boom.
Now that you know the secret, that higher denomination equals more money, that explains why all these slot play YouTubers are betting such crazy amounts at such high denominations. If you're betting like $1,000 a spin, your payback percentage can be as high as like 98% payback. But you don't have to bet like a high roller to play like a high roller. Check out the high limit slots area. Sometimes they have a minimum of a $5 bet, and your odds can increase in there because the denominations are higher. So I have a few tips for you guys on finding a good machine. And the first one is gonna be, don't fall for things like this. There are 3 different Dancing Drums machines here, and they all have different levels of coin pot. You may think that having this full coin pot means it's gonna hit sooner. Wrong, it's just a graphic, it doesn't mean anything. They close randomly, so don't fall for stuff like that. Machines do that all the time to try to draw you in, but it's random, it doesn't mean anything. For someone who's a new player, my suggestion is definitely look for machines that are considered low volatility. These mean that they're gonna pay you back more often, even though the wins aren't gonna be as great. Generally, I would say to try to avoid the high volatility machines unless you have a really big bankroll. Examples can be like Huff and Puff, Wheel of Fortune, Buffalo sometimes. You're gonna notice that slot play channels do like these games, but they have a high bankroll, and so it's high risk, higher reward. A lot of slot players swear by playing the old school machines. These are the 3-reel machines. There's no big bonus features, no bells and whistles, just lots more chances for you to win your money back. Good examples would be Top Dollar, Pinball, Double Diamond, Triple Lucky Sevens, Triple Stars. People consider these to be more low volatility and really good ones to start. Another one you guys should try out would be a major must hit buy machine. So these are machines that after a certain amount of money has gone in, it has to hit. If it's looking like it's really close, play that one and it could be your chance to get a major jackpot. A great example of this is Thunder Cash, and a lot of people swear by that machine. So I've mentioned this before on my channel, but commercially licensed slot machines are less likely to pay out because they do have to pay royalties. They're really fun to play though. Another great machine to check out is Cash Burst. Basically, little bubbles of money are gonna pop up on the screen, and if they're down at the bottom, you have a lot of chances to win them if you hit the Cash Burst symbol. Sometimes people leave behind really big ones, like $100, so you can try to play after them and see if you'll win it. Cash Burst machines are not the only way people leave money behind. A lot of slot machines have compounding wilds. This means that the wilds build up at the top of the board, and then they can all come down at once, and you could win really big. We were just playing a machine recently, and we hit a big bonus and we were ready to cash out, but we still had a ton of wilds left on the board, so we had to keep playing to make sure we used up all the wilds. Be very careful that you don't leave those behind. Let me give you guys just a little bit more gambling advice. If you're taking a long trip to Vegas and you're gonna gamble, set the amount that you are going to gamble every single day and stick to that budget. Maybe put the money in separate envelopes, play down what you decided the bankroll was, and then stop. Also, never play on your winnings. I've heard so many people tell me that they were up like 800, 900 bucks, but then they gambled it all away again. Don't do that. Save your winnings, set those aside so that you go home with some of your wins. That way you're never leaving down. They even make gambler safes for people that cannot be trusted with their own winnings, where you can't even unlock it until you get home. Ultimately, you guys, gambling is supposed to be fun. It's entertainment. We break almost all of these rules that I shared with you guys. We're betting penny slots, we play licensed games sometimes, because we're just trying to have a good time. I look at it like this. I don't go to a concert and spend money on it and then expect to get anything back but a good time. And I look at gambling a lot like the same way. I just want to have fun, and maybe I'll hit a huge jackpot, but if not, I want to enjoy myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful and fun, and I hope to catch you guys all in my next one.